All right. What's going on, y'all? Smitty here. This is take two trying to get this stream to work right. So I apologize. The connectivity is not always the best. Sometimes at hotels it be flaky like that. But nevertheless, guys, all right. So I'm doing this in two parts because I'm about to be heading out, in a little bit. I'm going to be going out with my family and everything and all that. So now I'm gonna break it up into parts. So I'm gonna do one. I'm gonna do one right now. Questions, anything you guys got. I'm gonna talk about the game, talk about my experience with the game, and do it for a little bit, and then I'm going to speak with you guys more a little bit later on today. Maybe this evening or what have you. So, well, it'll be evening on West Coast time, but I'll be back with more. So, that's why I hate this internet connection problem is going on here. I really hate that. But nevertheless, guys, what I want to say, first of all, as far as Madden, the game has a lot more weight to it as far as when it comes to player movement, when it comes to how the feel is on the field. Like, there's only so much we're able to see, but you definitely see how Frostbite has made an impact in regards to the gameplay overall. And in regards to the visuals, you see players, teams run out the tunnel and everything. It didn't have the full audio behind it, even when I listened to it in the headset. So it's not like I could really tell you guys, like, hey, yo, they did all this work and all this stuff, and I got to see it. Like, I didn't get to see everything. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't get to see it all. So that's the only thing that sucked about it, was that we didn't get a full blown experience. And just like what I said to you guys about NBA Live, it's a similar deal in the sense that it's a demo of it, but it's not like a demo as far as the full blown experience that you're going to get. No, as you guys see here, look, let me just show y'all real quick. For those of y'all that don't see it here, y'all see, I got waterfalls, the little water stuff going on each side of me here. So at the hotel, that's why you keep hearing the water drop sounds. So no, I'm not not taking the leap. So, but no, guys, like, let me see. Is there anything like what I will first say is let me see what's the first thing that I want to dive into. I definitely will say this. Like I said, players feel a lot more weighted on the field in general, like across the whole board. Play. Are you able to cut on a dime in tight spaces? How are the halftime shows? See, that's what I'm saying. It was a demo. See, that's what I'm saying. It was a small demo. We only had 8 teams to play with, so I didn't get to try it. I didn't get to play with any specific, I didn't get to experience a halftime show. Matter of fact, it skipped the halftime show by itself because it just wasn't part of the demo. And see, this is the other thing that you guys got to understand. Just like I said about NBA Live, it's like the stream, these games that we're playing, we're not playing a complete version of the game. So it's like they purposely they build a version of the game so that way it'll be playable for EA Play. So it's like there's only specific things that are going to be happening in the game. So you're not going to be able to get that full blown everything that we're getting. So, and I'm doing this on my cell phone, so I apologize if y'all, sometimes people try to call me or what have you. Doing the cuts and all that stuff, which is going to be a ton of fun. Sim community guys are going to enjoy that, especially because how the cool thing about MUT Squads is that people will people will make their videos and say what they say about, you know how we always, how many people talk about how we don't like what we see in competitive games and we don't like seeing all that. Well, now that's your opportunity to show them. Because interesting thing was you had myself, Shop, and Sim play up against some other tournament guys, and we mopped the floor with them. You know what I'm saying? We beat them like, I think it was like 19 to nothing. I mean, it was only like 3 minutes. It was 3 minute quarters. And we beat them 19 to nothing. Like, we were executing, we were doing manual stunts and stuff like that. Like, we game playing with each other. Like, okay, this is the play we gonna run. This is what we gonna do. Yo, take control of this. Do this. And y'all come together. It's a fun game. A lot of fun. But what I will say though, guys, is that I only played. Hold on a second, guys. Let me try and see if I can possibly improve this connection here, because this is. Bear with me a minute. All right. Has player movement got better, and run animations? Yes, player movement is definitely better. Animations are definitely better. If you utilize a defensive tackle or D lineman, you definitely feel the weight of that defensive lineman, or that D tackle, that hefty D tackle, that big beefy guy. You definitely see that. You definitely feel it. Even when it comes to the tackling, you definitely feel it. Let me see. Oh yeah, and then the other thing too is when you're controlling your guy in the secondary, you definitely. I was playing on simulation mode. Okay, so that's the only setting that I played on was simulation mode. There wasn't no way in the world you was gonna catch me playing on competitive, or on competitive or arcade. You know what I'm saying? But well, outside of MUT squads, because they make you play on that setting by default. But what I will tell you guys is that if you take that linebacker, you are not going to be able to interact with the offensive line, fall back and cover three receiver. No. If you choose to interact with the line, at least from experience, my experience, I can't speak on everybody else. This is from me playing it on simulation mode, okay? I didn't play, like, every time I got to play on the 6 by myself, all I did was sim mode. So I don't know how it is competitively, on a one-on-one situation. I can't speak on that. But simulation settings, taking that linebacker, if I choose to engage with the line, I made my decision. If I'm going to cover a receiver route, I better stay in that middle of the field secondary spot. Like, I better stay there. But man, let me tell you guys something about the coverage. Man coverage is legit. If you're, and this is once again, I know people gonna gripe about it. I already see it coming a mile away. You better know your personnel. That's all I'm gonna tell you. You better know your personnel. Now, on the builds that we played, it didn't have ratings there. Everything was question marked out, so we didn't get to see. So it's not like we saw ratings. Okay, so it's not like I said, yo, so and so's rated this and this guy's rated that. Like, no. But what I am going to tell you guys is that ratings are paramount like none other. If you don't know your personnel, don't be mad when, oh, how come this guy got burnt off of? Nope. Because now guess what? They fixed the inside outside defense. They fixed that. They fixed the shading. The zone play, they play a lot more logical. I mean, and this is at this point. They still got clean up work and all that stuff to do. They still got tuning time and everything, and it wasn't happening. So, the tackling in the game looks a lot more visceral, especially when it comes to. Okay, well, that's your personal opinion. Like, let me see, a question like that, Reese, you might as well wait till August to play it. So that's not, what I'm saying, that's not a question that I can answer. You got to answer that on your own. Let's see here. How did target passing feel? Target passing felt like target passing felt like Madden. I mean, not Madden. No, wait, excuse me. It felt like NFL fever in the sense of having you have the icon that's going to be on the field, and you move it around to where you want, and then you can place the pass like that. Okay, so do they have touchdown celebrations? As far as I know, they're the same kind of celebrations that were in there from last year. So as far as I know, I mean, that's not something I was really worried about as far as celebrations. Um, Throwing animations for QBs are different throwing styles. I did not necessarily see. Well, I will say this: depending upon the kind of throw that they did, I definitely saw differences. Um, like differences in terms of how they would go about making the throw. So, like, if it was a deep ball, you see guys lean up, and you can see that they're putting more oomph into their throw, into their release. Let me see. But distinct animation, see, it was hard because we only had a few teams, so we only had a handful of teams to play with. So it's not like I can these builds at these events and everything are not full-blown builds where we could go into all the options, and we could go into create a player, and we could go touch and tweak all the different things. Like, we didn't have all that. Do you think this man will have people stop talking about 2K? People are going to talk about what they choose to talk about. That's one of those up in the air. That's a subjective question. I can't really answer that. That's in the eye of the beholder. You know what I mean? I can't say like, oh, everyone's just gonna go silent on 2K now because of Madden. Like, no, that's on the individual. So I can't speak on that. There are people that straight up are gonna deny progression no matter what because they want to uphold 2K. So it is what it is. I'm not really worried about that. But the target passing, it felt good, but at the same time, I threw a lot of picks. And I ate a lot of sacks. Playing on simulation mode setting. Because, see, this is what you got to remember. When you pick that receiver and you say, like, what you can do is this, okay? Let's say you make your play call, right? You make your play call and you decide what it is that you want to do. All right? So you made your play call decision. Now, you can pick who you want to be the primary receiver. So it's like backbreaker. Well, no, yeah, you can say backbreaker. It's like backbreaker in the sense that it's going to pick that primary receiver, right? That red highlighted receiver. It's going to pick that one first. But once they make that selection, then you snap the ball. You can always throw the ball wherever you want. Like, if you want to place it somewhere else, you can pick a different receiver and put it in that vicinity. Pick a different receiver and throw it there. But you got to pick that receiver, move the target, and then throw it, while at the same time you still got that defense coming at you. So it's not like all of a sudden it's going to go into bullet time and you're going to be able to slow down and decide who you want to, and then it's going to speed back up. No, you got to do everything at that pace. So that's going to be the interesting thing. The key thing that these guys were going for was the skill gap. And the cool thing is, at the same time, you still can use the analog stick without using the pass targeting. So you can still do like you do right now in Madden 17. You can still do that. But then the precision, that's more like, let's say, I'm moving the ball down the field. I just want to use the traditional, I just want to use the straight up analog, and that's it. But then when I get into the red zone and I'm like 10 yards out of the end zone, and I run that fade, and I want to throw it to that back pylon. That's where using that target passing comes in at, and I say, okay, I'm gonna hold down the trigger, and I'm gonna put that cursor in that corner, and I'm gonna throw the ball there. See what I'm saying? So it's like you can pick and choose when you want to use it. So it's not like you're stuck with it, like, oh, I cut it on, now I just have to use it. See what I'm saying? So that's pretty cool. Our mouthpieces are jersey grabbing in the game during helmets aren't coming off because you know the NFL said so. So NFL is not, that's not gonna happen. You ain't got to worry about that. Helmets popping off. Our mouthpieces are jersey grabbing in the game. I didn't see any grabbing of jerseys, even though I think I had said it before. Yeah, I did. I said it in the stream before with Sim. You can reach out even if you're in a double, even if you're in a a double team block. You can still reach and try and grab the player, try and grab the quarterback for a sack. But it's all contextual. So you can't just be in open space and do it. And what I mean by that is, if you're engaged with the O lineman, and you're far away from the quarterback or you're far away from the halfback, you're just not going to all of a sudden just reach out. It's a matter of contextual. Like if they're near you and they're running past you and you're there and you guess right, yeah, you'll go for it and he'll grab the jersey. So let me see. Oh yeah. Excuse me. Clear my throat here. All right. Are there any gameplay animations that are noticeably different? Yes. Like the O and D line engagement, the tackling feels different. Run animations feel different. Players feel a lot more attached to the field. So it's like, it's not that the game is slower, but players feel a lot more attached. The animations look more authentic, okay, in terms of what you would see on Sunday. So it's not like, oh, look at this particular individual animation, but it's like, no, like, as pertaining to what you see authentically unfold in football, that's what's going on in the game. So that I'm definitely proud of, and I'm glad to see. Brett, okay. Oh yeah, I live in Michigan. Yeah, I'm from Michigan, bro. I'm from Michigan. I'm just out here in Cali right now, but I'm in Michigan. Oh yeah. So welcome to the stream. Thanks for coming through. But let's see here. Every people forever martyrs. Yeah, that's true. NY they always are going to be martyrs and people that are just going to ride or die for 2K, and that's fine. Ride. I don't care. Do it. That's awesome. Do what you want to do. But let me see here. Let me go through some of these questions. I know I got to catch up here a little bit. Does the ball still disappear from the screen? Well, it depends on the camera view. See, me, I like playing in the zoomed in camera view, so the ball's going to disappear from the screen for me. Now, I think Sim or Shop might be able to answer that question a bit better than me, because I only play on the zoom camera view. So I try to throw the ball to the spot and then go ahead and get up under it and make a play, or try to get up under it and make a play. Let me see. How about physics? Does the game sound like an NFL game? Well, I didn't get to experience all the sound because, like I said, the build that it's on is a new. It was a more scaled back build. Like, these games are scaled back for these events, so it was more of a scaled down build. So it didn't have all the sound, the full blown ambiance and frostbite and everything, but. What I will say is, from what I played and what I did get to hear, everything did sound pretty clean. So, all things considering, I think it's going to be a lot smoother and it's going to be a lot more refined once the game does, come out at launch. So, but it wasn't bad though. But it wasn't the full. You could tell. Okay, yeah, this is not a full blown package right now. So, it wasn't all the way there at this point. So it was as good as it was going to get, considering that. Let me see. How about the physics as well? Like I said, the physics felt good. Players felt a lot more weighted on the field. Simulation, and this is once again the simulation mode aspect of this. It's not just a matter of performing a move. It's about who you're performing it with and who you're performing it against. So that's the whole ratings aspect of the game coming into fold. It made sense. as me as a D lineman, it made sense when I did not have control. You know, when I could not just perform whatever move I wanted. Like if I had a more dominant D lineman, oh, I could have my way with the O lineman. I'm making mincemeat of them. You know what I'm saying? Double team blocks, I'm fighting through them. You know, all of that stuff. So it does depend upon who you have and how you go about it. So that is going to play a role. So that's what I'm saying. Paying attention to the ratings of your players is going to be extremely paramount in simulation setting, especially when they come with that blitz, and especially when they rush into the line there. So you're going to have to pay attention to all those things, man, because it's very key. Let me see. No, that's not. No, Wody Max. Somebody told you wrong. Let me see. No calls for our option to use mud cards with sim mode. Oh, I mean that's something you gotta tweet the devs about. I wouldn't have that answer. I couldn't tell you. As far as, and the question basically asked was, he said, are there any plans for our option to use mud cards with sim mode? That I wouldn't have an answer for. Let me see. Here sim mode is not franchise mode only. Simulation mode setting is, if you wanted to play, like, let's say, if you wanted to play, from what I was told, if you want to play head to head online with one of your friends, you can choose the simulation setting and play head to head that way. All right. So if you want to, but the typical online setting, like they said, is going to be default. It's going to be on the competitive setting. So honestly, it wasn't that bad from us. I mean, that's for me playing MUT squads though. Let me see. Who are the new commentators? They are Charles Davis and Brandon Gaudin. Those are the guys. They were the commentators on the game last year, so they're on the game again this year. Let me see here from Pete. We miss one no matter what. Always sign people who put up. Oh yeah, you know, to each its own in that regard. Pass interference and other penalties. Like I said, those are things that I didn't get to see that much of because of the build. Like, you know, there were still some issues and stuff that need to be worked out in regards to the build. So everything was not there in the build that we got to play. So it's not like we got to full on experience everything and all things. We didn't get to do all that. So pass interference, I didn't get to experience as of yet. So still gotta see what's up with that. Are there dreads and mouthpieces? Yeah, there are dreads. I definitely seen the dreads coming out of the helmet and everything. I've seen that. Mouthpieces, I don't know, because once again, we didn't get to touch create, go into create a player or editing or anything like that. So we didn't get to do anything on that line. 4-man pass rush and the DTs seem to have a presence. Yeah, they definitely have a presence. So you can get legitimate pressure with a 4-man pass rush, and that, once again, it goes into the whole premise of simulation mode. It's about who you have and who you're going up against and how you attack. So you can get a legitimate presence and you can legitimately do something. And I see you from the 810, Brett. So I'm originally from 313. You know what I'm saying? So that's great to make that acquaintance there. All right, now for my dude, how's the pat? Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Sam's and Zulu. What you guys are both basically saying are one and the same. The 4-man pass rush, I mean, can you get pressure off the edge? Yes. Can you get pressure off the middle? Yes. Can you do it without blitzing? Yes. But it depends upon who your front is, who you're going up against, because that's what they said. Ratings are paramount, and that is very true. Ratings are extremely paramount in this game. So if you want to really represent, you really want to do your thing, you got to make sure you keep all that stuff in mind. Let me see. And just as a side note, now, I know people may feel a particular way about the competitive setting. I had to play on it because of playing the MUT squads. I had to play on it. And I'll just say this. when Shot, myself, and Sim had played, I was the defensive coordinator. All right, which I did a good job. I went 2-0, so I did. I had to hold it down, but as a D coordinator. But no, I didn't call blitzes. I only called maybe one or two blitzes the whole game. We won 19-0, and I purposely was controlling the D end and D tackle. I came away with 5 sacks. So you can generate pressure with just your 4 down linemen. Now, of course, they gave us, top of the line, high end players for Ultimate Team, that for playing that demo of it. But the whole point was both teams were juiced, and I was able to get 5 sacks. And I was controlling D linemen. And I barely blitzed. Like, I may have called a blitz play 2 or 3 times the whole time. So you can get pressure, and that was on the competitive mode setting. So just think, if you're playing the right way on sim setting, you're gonna wreak some havoc. You're gonna make some people disconnect. All right, there's gonna be some massive disconnections going on too. Let me see. Okay, how about the stretch run play? I'll just say the run play blocking in general was solid. From what I've seen, there was some hiccups because of where the build is at. And that's from me talking to the devs about it. But from what I played, let me say this too. Pass blocking because I know some people were saying that before. Pass blocking by by your halfbacks and fullbacks, way, way better. Way, way better. It's like night and day. The logic, Clinton, them cats, they put in that work in regards to getting that line play right. Like, they did a great job. Running backs and fullbacks are picking up blocks on the run and on the pass play especially. Like, they're not just letting dudes run past and that's it. If they're able to get there and make the play, they will get right there logically. Okay, boom, I'm going to fall back. I'm going to pick this guy up. I'm going to pick up that guy. They were doing it. So they did a good job there. From my experience there so far. All right, now let's see here. And of course, when it comes to any play, stretches are not OP or anything like that. I had stretch plays where I had gained yardage, and I'm playing against CPU. I had stretch plays where I got good yardage gains, and I had stretch plays where they straight lit me the heck up. So it's not one way or the other, you know what I mean? So it's balanced. Let me see. Saw a YouTuber on the Christian Back said that true that the sidelines and crowds are more interactive. Yeah, the crowds look much better. The sidelines look better, yes. Like, I had seen, like, when Sim was playing, I had seen where both players, like, dude got tackled out of bounds and the opposing player helped, like, the opposing sideline character helped up the guy off the field. Like, he helped him back up on his feet. So that's from what I saw, but like I said, I'm all about what's going on the field mainly, but I did see that. So let me see here. Hold on, I'm trying to pull this back up. Y'all questions. Okay. Touch on the total control passing. Yes, I did. Hold on. I gotta play some. I gotta go up, see what it is that you guys saying here. Hold on. I'm just running through. I'm playing catch up with the comments here, so just bear with me a minute, y'all. What up, D? What's going on? Okay, on styles. Yeah, I touched on the total control passing. It's like NFL fever, which is going to add a new dimension on it, but it's something that you definitely are going to have to lab. But like I said, at the same time, let me tell y'all something. Let me tell you guys something as well. Man play is legit. Zone play is legit. These guys are logically breaking on these passes. The safety play is there. Yes, it's there. Straight like the meme. It's there. Yep. It's there. So I threw passes where I'm like, oh, bet I got it in this open space. Out of nowhere, DB just shoots across, or the safety just shoots across the field and picked it. I'm like, where the heck he come from? I go in the replay, And I watch him, and it's like you literally see it. He's watching the play. He's just sitting on it. He's waiting. He's waiting. As soon as that ball come out, boom, he just beelines right in the path and just snatches it and starts going the other way. Like I threw maybe over this time altogether, I threw maybe like about like 8-9 picks. So they are making reads on the ball. They are beating down on the play. They are on it. Okay, like from what I played, they are definitely on it. But when you do get those passes off with that pass control, when you get those passes off and you lead them the right way and you really make that read, and that's the cool thing with simulation mode setting is that you got to make that read legitimately. Like if you going to place it, okay, you're not going to have 5, 10, 15 seconds. You still got a few seconds. And let's say that primary option that you thought was going to be there ain't there. Now you got even less time. So now it's like, am I going to still commit to that total control pass, or am I going to let it go and just use an analog stick? Or am I going to throw it away? So that's the one thing you got to pay attention to. You got to make that decision when you're playing the game now. And I love it. So let me see. All right. This game feel different, like when you drive a cook. Yeah. Oh yeah. No, the game feels different. Like I said earlier, Ray. Players feel a lot more attached to the field. The game feels a lot more weighted. Like when you control a defensive lineman, it's like with NBA Live. Like when I was talking about NBA Live earlier. If you have somebody who's lighter in weight, they're gonna feel lighter. If you control somebody who's a bit heftier in weight, you're gonna feel that heftiness. Like he's gonna feel bulkier. Like I was playing with what's the man's name? Freeman from the Falcons. He was one of the teams that they had in there. Falcons were one of them. He didn't feel as hefty as Frank Gore did. You see what I'm saying? And they had Frank Gore on the Colts, and they felt different. You know what I'm saying? So you really did feel that differential between the two. So at least I definitely felt that difference when I was playing. So and then even like I said, from using D tackles, DNs, cornerbacks and linebackers and safeties, that control, it all the players feel different. You know what I mean? They all have their own feeling, like in terms of bulkiness and heftiness on the field. So it's going to show, but it's something you got to feel. You're not necessarily going to truly get it through visual. You're really going to get it when you get your hands on the sticks. And that's the whole thing when it comes to what we play. Because just like when we talk about FIFA, it's one of those deals where when you play FIFA 16, 17, 18, right? Unless you get your hands on the sticks, if you just look at it on screen, you're like, oh, they're relatively the same game with little differences. That's essentially what's going on here with Madden 18. It's like you gotta feel it. Some things you're gonna be able to look at and say, yo, okay, I like that. But there's gonna be a lot of things that you're only gonna experience when you feel it. You get your hands on it, you get to feel it, and then you're really gonna be like, okay, I like what they did. All right, that's solid right there. So we're forced to play. I'm telling, look, let me, Wody Mac, and I'm playing catch ups here with the questions here. Like I said, yo, understand what I'm getting, understand what I'm telling you with the MUT squads. Like I said, myself, Shop, and Sim played on MUT squads on that competitive setting. Don't take it like, oh man, we're not going to be able to do. Look, if you get with right-minded folks and you got right-minded people on your team, let's say you got your 3 Sim guys or what have you. You got some dudes that you know, okay, they play MUT enough and they got a legit team and everything. We gonna go online. You be the offensive coordinator, I'm D coordinator, you be head coach. You could go out there and run some tables, okay? You can go out there and do some damage because people gonna come with the cheesy cheese and you can straight up say, let's show these cats how to play football real quick. That's my whole point. You can make look, Jake Stein is one of the devs on Madden, okay? It was Jake Stein and 2 other dudes. They was up there switching position. Jake was switching from being offensive coordinator to defensive coordinator because them dudes, we was messing them up. And that's on a competitive setting. We getting sacks. We up here doing manual stunts. We up here baiting dudes in the secondary. We chopping these dudes up on offense. We saying, yo, man, run this route here. It's like, yo, run a post and do this. Yo, you run over here. Yo, you take that block. We got Sim. We busted Sim out on a 60-yard run to the end zone. Basically did a counter run play to the outside, and I took the guard and I pulled the guard out. I controlled the guard myself, laid that clean block that opened the path, and he just took that thing straight to the house. I'm telling you, you can do some damage. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. Moderator for Madden tips. Okay. All right. Well, no, I'll definitely get at you. Get at me on Twitter, Brett. Smitty at SmittyD1981. Get at me on Twitter if you're on there. I definitely will get at you. So definitely holler at me. But let me see. Get to capture some video. Could you please get some broadcast camera angle footage? Oh well, I didn't have the opportunity to capture it, so I can't. I wouldn't have anything for that. So just have to stay tuned in that regard as far as footage is concerned. So yeah, that'll be something. Just have to stay tuned on it. And at this point, unfortunately, let's see. Yeah, I basically addressed that question about controlling the players. They feel more attached to the field. Assuming you play sim mode, does the game feel like? Oh, you definitely have to strategy without question, Marquezio. And like I said, I'm just playing catch up because I want to make sure I answer everybody's questions. I want to answer everybody. I don't want anybody to feel left out here. Questions for better wide receiver splits. Been bashing over. Let's see. How's the halftime show? Oh yeah, there wasn't a halftime show in the build that we played, so it just when it got to halftime, it just skipped straight to the third. Ask about live streaming and then do nothing. Rex doesn't make all the calls. Let's see. So I'll just leave it at that. Any D-line stunts? I don't know, because every single playbook was not in the game. So we only were able to play with 8 teams, and everything isn't in. And plus, A-Dub wasn't here to talk about it. A-Dub wasn't here, so it wasn't like I had the opportunity to speak with him and break bread with him about all the plays and all that good stuff like that. So didn't get to do that. Not necessarily in that regard. But yeah, there isn't simulation mode, not for ranked online, because think about it. When they play these money tournaments and everything else, how do they play it on for ranked? You see what I'm saying? Okay. Yeah, I addressed the pass rush. It's legit. You can get on the simulation setting. On the simulation setting, it's legit, but it's dependent upon, once again, the personnel, who you're using, what moves you're using, and who it is you're doing it against in that situation. So if you got a double team pass block and your guy is not the best, don't be mad if you're not able to punch through that block. But if it's a run play and you're able to get close to that, to that running back, hit that L1 or R1 to possibly drag him down. So that one thing. Yeah, I played the PS Pro 4 version. The PS Pro version. That's what they had us all on. So we were all playing it on that, and it looked great. Yeah, exactly, Daryl. Yeah, thanks for answering that question. Because all of them will be on there. We're doing the Sim Standard show this Thursday. We will definitely be on. So you guys definitely tune in for that. We will be on. Sim and I, and I guess there may be some other guys coming through too, because because there are other guys that were here that were at EA Play and got to check out the game. So had a discussion with S Gibbs and challenging to find. Yeah, that's legit, Brett. That's very true. How does the instant replay look? I played both versions, Xbox One and PS4. I don't know what you mean by how does it look. I mean, it looked good. I mean, like it looked as good as it would in any other game. I guess I don't know that answers the question. Uh, but yeah, played the Xbox One and the PS4 version. The only thing that threw me off a bit was the color code schemes with the buttons because I'm accustomed to PS4. So, all right, how much better are the graphics? Frostbite helps the graphics come out a lot more and pop a lot more. So, they definitely did their thing with the graphics. Like, Frostbite helps out a lot with that. And Frostbite does have an impact on gameplay as well. So, that's one of the things I was saying. People are looking into Frostbite and saying, oh, it's just graphics and nothing more. No, it does more than that. No, Giants weren't even in the build. That's what I said. There were only 8 teams. Like, they had, what was it? They had the Colts. It was Colts, Falcons, Vikings, Panthers, Patriots, Steelers, and let me see. Can't think of who else off top. Oh, Redskins were in it. I think that's about. No, I know I'm probably missing one or two, but not all the teams were in there. It was just a partial, build. All right, how's the D line? How's the defensive and offensive line? I play online much, so I'm so successful. Yeah, see, you can be successful. No, I didn't ask about mouthpieces. I'm not worried about mouthpieces. Yeah, I mean, he basically talked to me about it the same way he just talked about it. From what I experienced, no. Strong safeties and free safeties don't let them run by. They just don't let people run past them. It also, but it does depend upon what play call you have. So you got to be smart with your play calls. And the other thing too, this is with the tight end thing. Now, you can, I know NY Kia will definitely love this. I'm pretty sure it was said already, but you can press the tight ends. You can press the tight ends. You can jam the tight ends at the line with the linebackers. So they will get jammed at the line. Okay, so you can do all that. Let me see. Okay. Play online, much still successful. Okay, all right. So, any new gear, noticeable difference? Other new tackle animations? Yes, there are new tackle animations. There are new sequences and stuff like that with the animations that are in the game. As far as the tackling is concerned, guys fighting through like. I was talking with Pat because he had an instance happen that didn't happen with me. He had an instance where he was dragging the defender by, the defender latched onto his leg and he was dragging him for like a few yards before he finally broke free and kept running upfield. So you have a lot more animation variety. And like I said, the tackle feels a lot more weighted. Field condition as far as wear its tail. No. You couldn't. No. See, listen. What I'm saying is that you can press the tight end. I'm not talking about pressing the tight end in the slot. I'm talking about off the line, like on the line. I'm not talking about him being in the slot or anything like that as a wide receiver. I mean straight up, if he's on the edge and you got your linebacker right there, can you press the tight end? Yes, you can. So that's the thing about it. That's the difference. Let's see. Field condition as far as wear and tear. Yes, the field was definitely getting degraded as I was playing. And the thing is, people get grass stains and all that stuff on their jerseys quick. So even from kickoff, like I had some instances from kickoff, dudes get scuffed on the ground. Like before the very first few snaps into the game, dudes are already getting, they get dirty according to how much work they do, basically. Just like how you have in FIFA. Like, if you got guys that get all on the ground and they get on the ground and get dirty a lot, you're going to see it's going to visually showcase on their jerseys. So you'll see all of that. Let's see here. Talk about the sidelines crowd. Yeah, I mean the sidelines didn't look drastically different from what I saw, but that's in that build. It could be different at launch. I don't know. There were different interactions that were happening. The crowd sounded real good, so that was a great thing to hear, and as well. So when I put on the headset, like I definitely got to experience that. Running game felt great. Does the movement feel smooth? Yeah, the running game felt great, and I'll talk about that in the lateral movement. The running game felt solid. One thing that I loved is that I wasn't getting stuck like that on my offensive linemen. Like they have contextual animations in there that are a lot quicker. Like some of you guys that may not know, I did videos on Madden 25, and I showcase some of those contextual animations. And looking at the way they do them in the game now, it's a lot better. Like it's very quick, very subtle movement they do, but then they get off that block and they push it. They keep pushing upfield or try to shoot through a gap or whatever. So it is. Excuse me. It is much better now. So, and then the lateral movement, backwards movement, all that stuff felt a lot better. And one thing that is cool, if you're on defense and you choose to take control of that linebacker or take control of that corner, what's cool is they put on the field, they put indicators on the field now. So when it comes to when you're on the field, and let's say you don't necessarily know who to cover or what you're supposed to do, whether it's a zone or man defensive play, they'll put like little arrows pointing out. Like you recall how it was back in like NCAA 12 and 13, how they would tell you offensively, they would let you know who's going to be picked up, or defensively where you're supposed to go. They'll do the exact same thing now for you as a secondary player. So if you take excuse me, if you take control of that linebacker or that cornerback and the ball is snapped, they'll point out arrows like where you're supposed to go behind you, like where you're supposed to go or what receiver you're supposed to cover. So that way you can move in a position and put yourself in a better position to potentially make a play according to that play call. So it's sweet. It's pretty tight. So that way that can help people get more comfortable with playing the secondary, playing the linebacker, playing the safety and cornerback spots that may not be as comfortable and just want to play just D-line only, which is a guy like myself. But I felt comfortable playing secondary even more because of those controls being added in. Let me see. Cornerback smart and cover 4-3. Do they fade downfield and do not cover hitch or out route? Will they put the NFL greats roster? I don't know. That's something you got to ask. You got to ask Rex about that if that's going to happen. Okay, ask Rex if that's going to happen. I wouldn't have an answer to that. Are there really big hits in the game? Yes, I'm going to elaborate that on just a second. Spirit of truth, that's a question that I would like I can say in general they play smarter in regards to the zone play, but to get specific, I wouldn't be able to answer that. Like I couldn't go, all I could do in this demo build that we played of the game, all we could literally do is play those teams. We didn't have a practice mode. We couldn't go into practice. We didn't have a setting to say, okay, you know what? Let me go in this practice and let me test this out. I'm going to have the CPU, like, I'm just going to take control of both controls and do that. Like, we didn't have that set up. So, unfortunately, I didn't get to, I didn't have a chance to really experiment with those kind of things. But I can definitely say, though, that even on now, let me tell you guys, I was playing in Sim 2. We were both playing on simulation mode setting, all Madden, and it felt legit. Okay, now I know we all know what historically happens come launch, but This is on simulation mode setting. So people are going to be affected. And just like what, look, listen, I'm going to stress this point before I answer any other questions. And I'm going to answer them. But Millennium OS said it best on Twitter. Okay, and that's the Operation Sports account for those that don't know. He's part of running that. What you guys got to understand, simulation community, we got a mode. We got a setting. This is our setting. This is our part, all right? So, what we all have to do as a whole, if cats be coming up here complaining and whining, step the heck up and let the voice be known and speak out across the whole board. Don't be sitting on your hands and then be like, oh, well, that's just the way it is, and competitive wins and all. No. You got your own setting, so there's no excuse. Fought for this. I definitely fought for the separation hard. Okay? I've been saying this since Tiger was 14. They need to separate it. Now, we got this option. Push this stuff to the devs and keep that thing going, dude. That's the main thing that I can emphasize to y'all, man. All of us. That's me included. So I'm not putting myself to pasture and separating and segmenting. I'm saying come together and be like, this needs to be tightened, that needs to be tightened. This is good, I like this better. This needs to be done, how about refining this? For simulation mode setting only. That's it. Alright? So that's all I want to emphasize that. Stress that point. He said it, but I'm telling you now, do that, please. That's going to be so critical once the game comes out. All right? So, let me, because see, one thing, and let me say this too. There's some guys that are in our league. You know, we got a Sim Standard League. And there was a guy in line that was out there, and he was complaining because he's like, he was playing on the sim setting, and he was complaining about it, and he was saying, oh man, there's too many penalties, I'm not able to do what I want to do, and this is problem, I don't like it. What are you gonna do about it? It was Rex and two of my dudes that are in the Sim Standard League, and shout out to Caleb and them, shout out to y'all cats, man. But these two dudes and Rex all came together and said, what mode you playing on? I'm playing on simulation mode. Put it on arcade. And then they all just bust out laughing at the dude. Because I'm like, that's what I'm talking about, man. That's what I'm talking about. People want to do that. That's going to be the paramount thing. Get out the kitchen. If you don't like the heat, get the heck out the kitchen. Simple as that. All right? Just got to emphasize that. That's what I'm saying. This is our move. I know because people always say we get the shaft. No, we're being heard, man. So in the midst of everything, trust me, Sim community has been heard, and it's shown in the game. Trust. All right, now let me see. Now, as far as the big hits, okay, I'm gonna keep this going. As far as the big hits here, that happen in the game, yes, they definitely do happen. And let me give you an example. All right, I'm playing against the Redskins. I had the Falcons. I came in with the blitz. He doesn't run up the middle. One defender latched on, right? You know, he's hitting him, and it's like he's starting to go down. It's like he's trying to fight through it. He's starting to go down. Free safety comes up, and he's got a clear shot, and he just runs right up, full head of steam. Boom! My man folded like a house of cards. I mean, he just folded straight back, like fast snapback, just pow! Like just whiplash shot, snap back, and he fumbled. And I'm like, you can see the visceral impact of the hits when they happen, as they should. My man got blasted, and it was a beautiful sight to see. Sim showed me some stuff too. Oh man. So it was beautiful. So yes, the hits are definitely there. Like the hard hits are there. Your moderate hits, your gang tackles and stuff like that. It is all there. So let me see. All right, let me keep it going. Comparison of the field. See, that's the thing. It didn't look congested to me. Okay, it didn't look as congested to me. New body types, everybody looked the same. How's the pre-snap blocking and route assignments? Is the gameplay the same as Madden? No, it's not the same as Madden 17. No, 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 no. Does not. It may have the visual appeal as if it's the same, but it is not the same. Player scaling, yeah, the player models from what I saw on the field in the game, because once again I couldn't do create a player or anything like that to go through all the models or anything like that, but it did look different. It definitely did look refined. So it looked like they did more work in terms of getting players more at scale basis. So it definitely looked like it from what I saw. The hot routes assignments and everything look pretty much the same from what I had saw, but I mean I'm speaking on a on a for the whole. So that wouldn't be. It's not really. I can't really make that assessment fairly at this point. All right, here we go. How's the blocking downfield? The blocking downfield was on point. On run plays, players will block as they're able to block. So that's the main thing that I can tell you in that regard. I didn't see anything happening, at least at this point, that did not make sense. Can you tell a big difference in player speed? Yeah, I mean, you could tell a difference in speed. Yeah, like, let me see. Sideline plus the line judge plus some gameplay. That's good. Okay. Is there a difference between Elliott and Blunt in regards of? Well, I mean, Elliott or Blunt weren't in the. Well, I didn't play with the Patriots, so I don't think they had him removed from the team yet. So I didn't play with the Patriots, so I couldn't tell you as far as that. But what I will say though is that when I did play, Freeman and Gore felt different from that. I will, excuse me, from Freeman from Atlanta and then Gore from the Colts. They felt different, so that's pretty much it. So that's the best that I could. That's the best that I could give you in that regard. Do you have better play challenges? That I don't know. So that's something you got to stay tuned on. I got to stay tuned on that one as well. Excuse me. Goodness. Any word on Pro Bowl? No word on Pro Bowl. Did I discuss the run animations? The run animation looked good from what I had played. I can't speak as far as are there different run styles and types and stuff like that. That I can't really speak to, so I don't have an answer for you there. That's once again going into the creative player and being able to edit rosters and really see, okay, do they have different styles? That's a question I couldn't answer. Is it noticeably graphically? Yes, without question, it definitely is. Can you play simulation mode for online play? From what I know is that you can only play simulation mode online play. From what I was told, apparently, was if you're playing head-to-head with a friend. Online head-to-head with a friend, you could do it. But as far as like the online part, like normal and especially in ranked, it's going to be on competitive. But it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad look. Like I said, the MUT. I played MUT squads, and playing MUT squads was, like I said, I had no problem with playing MUT squads. I had no issue with playing MUT squads using those settings. So, because they put it on competitive setting by default. Let me see. Same team did great with equipment. I don't know if they fixed sock height. Okay, yeah, that I'm not. I'm not gonna have that answer, McFaulkner. Let's see. The teams I played with. I played with the Steelers, the Vikings, the Falcons, and the Panthers. That's what I played with specifically. I mean, that's 4 of the 8 teams that were available. So I mean, they only had a handful of teams in there. Let's see. Got a really good question here. Does double teaming work? What do you mean? Like, Brandon, you got to elaborate. What do you mean by that? Is the O-line and D-line physical like they are in real life? Yeah. Madden 17, yeah. Like, I mean, that's pretty straightforward, so yes. Oh, okay, double teaming. Oh, okay. Double teaming the receivers. Let me see. I didn't experiment with that as far as to that extent, like putting a double team on one guy. But I definitely can say this though, bracketing definitely worked because I definitely did that. So I did I did a spotlight and I did bracket. So that definitely was effective. Definitely saw that, but I didn't do a double team receiver. I didn't do that. Let's see here. How are the skills upgraded? Wouldn't have an answer for that. Let's see. Alright. QB sneak is still hard to stop. That I don't know. I didn't test that out. Let's see. How's the progression feature? Didn't get to play anything franchise related, so I couldn't tell you about progression. DB warp animation, is that gone? Are there 300-pound linemen catching up speedy? Let me see. Hold on. DB warp animation, is it gone? Is it gone? That I don't know. Are there still is there still two-man sequences that are in the game? Yes. Is it gone completely though? That I don't know. Okay, because now see, one thing I can say is that I did not experience it. So that's the only thing that I can say at this point, is that I did not experience it for one, so that's definitely a good thing so far. And I will say this, when it was a two-man sequence, it made sense relative to the positions of the players. So I mean, all in all, it was not like, it wasn't like I got this defender beat, but then all of a sudden they gave me an animation where he just all of a sudden is able to get in position to make a play. Like, no, if I'm not in the right position relative to the receiver and the ball where the ball is coming down, then he's going to make that play. Like, he's going to get that catch and I'll be out of position. So that was happening. Let me see. Okay, now regarding the 300-pound lineman. Okay, 300-pound lineman catching up to speedy backs. Are they leaving sliders in? What do you mean? Like, DeQuint, like, sliders are still there. So they're still there. Like, you still got sliders in the game. So, 300-pound lineman, no, they will not. Like, finally you are able to break. I had broke a touchdown run with Greg Olsen. I threw him open. It was basically, I threw him on a post route. I threw a post. And I threw him open using the pass lead mechanic. This was one of the times I was able to be successful, very successful with it. And I got it out of the reach of 3 defenders. Like, the safety over top was there, and I put it to a spot where only he was able to get to it, and he got it. And because the defenders were out of position, I was able to just take it all the way in for 6. So, and the thing is, like, because of his speed that he already had gathered, he's gone. So if a guy gets in the open field and he's gone, like, he's gone. So you're not about to see a D lineman or a D end all of a sudden that has no business catching up. He's not going to have any business catching up. Like, he's not going to catch up. So that was a great sight to see. Best team, there were no ratings shown, so you didn't see, everything was question marked out. Does the linebacker still jump 10 feet to get lurk interceptions? I did not see that. So I don't have much of an answer on that, because I didn't see it happen. So I didn't see people jumping up like that to get INTs in my gameplay experience. Let's see. QBs differ from one another. I mean, they differ in terms of how they play. The QB AI, I will say this, for the opposition is definitely there. So the differentials you're going to see on quarterbacks is definitely shown there in the game. So I can at least say that. But like I said, once again, there wasn't nearly enough to say, yo, everybody plays different, because there was only a few teams. Excuse me. And then they'll release it to the public. Nope. Just stay tuned. Nothing to say right now as far as gameplay in that regards. Do 3-4 defensive player different than the 4-3 players with their techniques? As far as that is concerned, I would have to see in regards to how that plays out. Let me see. Hold on here. Yeah, that's something, like I said, once again, with everything we had going on at this event and everything, we didn't have time to treat this full on like a traditional community event where we would have like 3 to 4 days where we could just zone out on the sticks for hours and hours on end and really get intricate and break down everything and have a lot more to be like, okay, yo, as far as this scheme for this team and this offense and that form, we could tell you straight up, this is exactly how it was. Like that I didn't get to deal with extensively. Maybe some other guys did, but I didn't get that chance to, because I had a lot of stuff that was going on there as well at the event, so that I had to participate with. So didn't get to spend as much time as I really wanted to. Can running back squeeze through tight holes? Yes, I've seen that. So yes, you can. Because remember, you had the mechanic in there to get skinny, so you have to use it. Do player jerseys get dirty? Yes. You think EA represented the NFL in Madden 18? I mean, yeah, they represented it good in 17. So it's only better now. So yeah, they definitely represented the NFL. How does the O-line look? Is there any real push in the pocket? Yes. Oh no, there's push in the pocket. Look, there's push from the pocket. You can drive your O-lineman. You could drive the O-lineman back, because I was doing that. So you could drive them back to the point where you can do the reach tackle mechanic and reach and grab the QB for a sack, or go for strip sacks and all that too. So yeah, it's there. It's definitely there. Do they run and block upfield on kicking? Yes, they do. It's better. It's definitely better than 17. As far as the kick returns and everything. Is the target pass in the same as the vision cone? No, it's not. It definitely is not. It's a cursor on the field. Like if you played NFL Fever 04, that's essentially what it's like. You got a cursor that you place on the field and you stretch it out, place it where you want to place it, and then you can try and throw it. You like they're gonna throw the ball to that spot. So you got to be mindful of throwing it when you're throwing it to that spot. But you got to be mindful of the defense, because like I said earlier in the stream, guys, the defense is going to react a lot better. They are logically going to react to that ball a lot better. So they're going to bite down on it. So you better be smart when you throw those passes. So, and like I said, me, I like playing all Madden when I'm playing offline. You know, I would like to. Usually I play all pro, but I played between all pro and all Madden on that simulation mode setting. And yeah, they're gonna get to that ball. They're gonna get it. So, and you still got to be mindful with the pressure that's coming too defensively. So when you're in the pocket there, but yeah, the pocket is legit. The pocket's gonna collapse around you and everything, just like it happens in 17 as well. So you got to be mindful of your surroundings, of course, when you're playing. Let's see. How does the fatigue factor? Hey, what up, AZ? What's going on? They add new tackling animations? Yes. They have the fatigue animations. That I did not see. So I can't say fully. Passing animations look realistic and fluid. From what I saw, yes. Especially when you go into replays, yes, definitely did. Do elite players play like elite players? Yeah, I mean, even though you couldn't see numerical ratings in the game, because they had it all question marked out, guys that you know are elite players, they shown it. So you definitely saw the elite players show up and show out. The juking and spin moves and things like that are done a lot better in the game. So that's for sure happening. What? Let me see. Okay. So juke moves is something that I would have to get into. I would have to get into a little bit more. Didn't once again. That's another thing. Didn't have enough time to really get into that in full blown to really talk about, like, to fully elaborate on it. But I will say though that the juke moves are a lot more relative to what the defender is doing, instead of it just being like, I didn't have an instance where a defender's coming right at me and I perform the move that is going in the direction he's going, but then they just give me this sequence where he's just gonna fall off like I shook him out of his shoes, when in all honesty you should have hit me. Like, it was like that. So it's like, if he's out of position and I do the move, I got him beat. So that was happening with the jukes and the spins. Can someone keep doing the same plays? I mean, yeah, NFL, they do it in the NFL. So yeah, people do the exact same plays, it's just a matter of you stopping it. Let me see. Is the Wildcat still OP? That I don't know. I wasn't messing with the Wildcat. Did I try back shoulder throws? I tried a few. There's no, honestly, I'm not a guy that plays. I don't play like Voltarax and everything, so I don't swerve. I don't do any of that swerve technique stuff. So, but like I said, the way that the players feel on the field when you're controlling them, I highly doubt you would be able to pull off a swerve. I'll say this: there were tournament guys out there that were all trying to do swerve stuff on purpose, just trying it. Like, you had Problem, you had Dubby out there, you had Stiff out there. They all tried to do that swerve and they couldn't do it. So you can't do the swerve. That's gone. Kick return, but yeah, I said this kick return blocking was a lot more solid. Made a lot more sense. Let me see. What game has? Well, Madden has frostbite. We still don't know yet about live or anything like that. We don't know. So yeah, swerve is gone. That sucker's out. That's been tested and approved. Tourney tested and approved by champions, and they couldn't do it. So yeah, it's gone. I mean, the kick return blocking, the kick return blocks, the pass blocking, and the run blocking all appear to be a lot more logical and sensible from what I had played and from what I had saw. So that's what I could really say in that regard. As far as those aspects in the game, at this point, from what I played and from what I saw. So now things can be different. To an extent, it's a great difference between a select few playing it and then once it's out there in the mass public. So it's all going to make a difference. Yeah, you're definitely going to have to get your football IQ way up. Let me see. Well, I was like, I'll also tell you this though, Kilpatrick. No one said that it wasn't either. So, all got to stay tuned on that. Oh, the pause menu. Yeah, the pause menu looked the same. Pause menu looked the same, but that doesn't mean that doesn't make it final. So that doesn't make it final. This is a scaled down build for for EA Play and E3. So I take that as a grain of salt. That's what's up. Now, does the shading work this year? The outside shading. From what I was playing, yes, inside and outside shading works. And also, you have, if you wanted to user it yourself, you have DB and whiteout controls that you can use yourself. Now, the whiteout controls will come more into play with, if you chose to do like your CFM and everything, if you wanted to be a player and you wanted to be a wide receiver, you got the controls for it. But if you want to be a cornerback and you want to play it yourself and do your own thing, then you got the controls to boot with that. So everything that's on Frostbite is okay. Like I said, all I'm doing is just saying tune. You know what I mean? People could jump to conclusions and guess. Yeah, that's the whole point about. That's the whole thing about speculation. So I'm gonna leave that up to others. Playing against CPU on all man or pro level, does your team defense react to the ball faster than they did on 17? Yes. They definitely do react a lot better out there in Madden 17. They react a lot better. I had a pick six. Like even though I had through picks, at the same time I got a decent number of picks that were by the CPU. Like the interesting thing is that with a lot of the team up play that I was doing, a lot of the picks that I got were from other players. Like they were by the CPU. And I was calling a decent amount of zone play, and I called man defense too. But they are playing sharp on these routes now. They will undercut and all that good stuff. They're doing work now. Yo, what's going on, Lob? What's going on, man? Hanging out here, enjoying these games, Madden and live. Yo, it's on tap. Just got in here, man. Apologize for this question. All right. Now, what's the question you got, man? Just go ahead and let me know. What is it you got? Person does the same play. Yeah. If they do the same play over and over, I mean, it happens in the NFL. So, I mean, if they do the same play over and over again, you got to figure out how to stop it. That's the main thing. What about presentation? I mean, I don't know. What about presentation? Like, you got to give me more detail than that. Like, what are you asking me? Because I'm gonna wrap this stream up soon. I gotta spend some time with the fam, but like, ask me the question. Like, give me more. What you're asking me. I mean, I'll say this: there wasn't much really to go by as far as presentation right now because of the game. The O lineman. What about the O line? Lob. Well, what about the O line? What's new about presentation in Madden 18? I mean, commentary is there's going to be newer commentary in the game. There wasn't much to show as far as presentation. I mean, the screen flipped from one screen to the next. That was new, but I can't really tell you all in all like presentation they did because it was a scaled back version of the game and you only had a few teams to play with and you couldn't play any modes. So that's all you had. So I mean, I can't really elaborate on presentation. Let's see. Why don't you go ahead and tell them that, JP? Let me see. All right. And yes, as far as the offensive line play, Yeah, there are improvements to the run game. The run blocking was a lot more solid. It was pretty good. You know what I'm saying? Like I talked about it earlier on in the stream, but it is a lot better. They did a good amount of work in regards of it this year. So um, like the blocking was a lot more logical, but then also the defense plays a lot more logical. The blitzing is logical, better with the logic. They play you a lot tougher this year, so it's all in there. It's all there, and it definitely shows. So you could definitely stand tall in the pocket. I mean, like that's one thing I don't understand. The pocket presence is there already in Madden. It's been there for a few years now. It's just gotten even better now in 18. So that's just my feeling on that. Um. Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, there we go. Lob. Okay, now that's okay. Yep. Now plays with pulling guards. Yeah, I mean they do. They pick up like Clint and the team did a lot of work on the line. They pick up the blocking a lot better, and I clearly was able to see that. They do a way better job at picking up blocks logically and by play design. So they did a real good job. I didn't get to see signature animation specifically, so I can't really necessarily answer that question for you. Let me see. Do players come out of the tunnels? Yes, they come out the tunnels. I didn't see any in-game injuries. Do you have control? Do you have total control of the halfback when running? Um, that's a very vague question, but yeah, I mean, if I'm controlling the halfback, I'm able to control him. So I don't know what regard you mean. Let me see. Okay. Oh yes, long shot. Long shot. I did get to play it. Who are the announcers in Madden 18? The same two that were in Madden 17. Brandon Gaud and Charles Davis. I played long shot. Long shot. You know what? I think that honestly, before looking at it, I was like, I don't know about that, man. I felt a bit weary about it. But after playing it and seeing it, the little bit I got to sample and dabble in, hey, I'll be playing through it. I definitely will be playing it through. It's interesting, and it's a lot of fun. Like it was fun. It gripped me for the little bit that I got to dabble with. Like I really want to get into it. So minicamp mode, I have no information on that, no answers. They have standard franchise mode. Well, they've had a franchise mode for a few years, so yeah, they'll have that. Uh, what ranking are the Dallas Cowboys? We'll all find that out closer to launch. Okay, I read that the tackles can get that punch, and that the DE, yeah, it's effective. The D line is effective. Is there a college? It cannot confirm there is college gameplay. They already nipped that in the bud. You know what I'm saying? There is no college gameplay. That's not happening. Did I play NBA Live? Yeah, I did a stream on it. I did a stream on it a few hours ago. Not too long ago in that regard. So I did a stream on it. I talked extensively about it. So yeah, I played a lot of NBA Live. So um, maybe I'll tell you what, Live. When I get back home, you can check out the stream I did if you want. Or when I get back, get at me on Twitter, and we'll get on Skype or whatever, and we'll break bread, about it. Because I know, we already on that level. So we'll talk. We'll definitely talk. Um, let me see. Somebody said that reach tackles are the game from the DT and the DNs. Yeah, they are. Like if you're engaged with an offensive lineman, it's manual. You manually control it. So all you do is just when you engage, it's contextual. So you just can't do it just because. You got to do it whether you reach to the left or right of that offensive lineman, whether you're in a two-man, whether you're blocked by two guys or one. If he goes on that side, and you go ahead and you reach out and you get him. So, all right. Yeah, so it's reach tackling. Like they're gonna put the arm out and they're gonna try to grab the they'll try and grab them that way, or they'll try and reach across. Like if they have a part of their body off the block, what I had saw one instance where he partially was on the right side, so you'll see him like extend his arm out and part of his body out and try and reach out and grab. So you'll have that happening too. Now I know it's not that kind of difference, and that's what I was saying. I wasn't able to go in and see all that stuff in depth as far as the difference between the backs, like run styles and all that stuff. So we didn't look at classifications and stuff. So that's the thing. Okay. All right. So how's the physical contact? It's better. It's better than NBA 2K at this point. We don't know what 2K18 is doing, but it is miles ahead in my opinion. It is way better than 2K in that regard, Lob. So like I said, we'll talk about it and we'll get into it. Okay. You think it's better? Oh, by far. I mean, it's gonna be hard for me playing Madden 17 after I didn't play this. Just like it's gonna be hard for me to play Madden 16. I mean, Live 16. You know, when I after playing Live 18. Oh, trust the defense is there, Lob. So you'll see. Hey, hold on to Daddy's hand here, okay? All right, y'all. So I'm about to go ahead and end this stream, y'all. So, nope, gotta stay here with me. Come on, you wanna walk? Gotta walk with the little lady. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna call it a wrap. Here, you guys. I appreciate all of you guys I appreciate all you guys that came through and hung out here and asked your questions and all that good stuff. I'm glad you guys did. So Zone D was solid. Zone D was legit. That's what I was mainly playing. I was playing a lot of that. So, yeah, hit me up on Twitter. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to hang out with my family here. We got one more day here. Like I said, guys, what I also will do, I don't know when I'm going to be back later on. But that's why I titled this as a part 1. I wanted to get, questions. I wanted to answer as many questions as I could and just talk about my experience some. I didn't even talk about MUT team, MUT squads and everything. I didn't even talk about that yet. And I had a blast playing that too. So, no, she's right here. She's right here. I got her. So just, I'll definitely will get back at you guys, answer more of y'all questions. I appreciate every single one of y'all that came through. And I'll be back to get at you guys later. So any questions y'all got, just hold on to them, and I will answer more of them as best as I can when I get back later on tonight. So yes, Smitty at Smitty D 1981, just like that. Yep, get at me on Twitter. You get at me on Twitter too. You know what I'm saying? And I'll get back with you guys, whenever I can. So that's why I'm and I appreciate the sub, DeQuince. I appreciate that. Let me see. Get the heck out of here, Daryl. I don't hate. I want 2 good games, man. I want it to be back to where, you know what? I want it to be back both with basketball and football. I want it to be back to a point where we got 2 games that trade off with each other. Live's got one thing. 2K's got another thing. This company's got that. I would love to see 3 or 4 football games, let alone 3 or 4 basketball games. All right, so let me just make that part clear too. I would want more because you know what? At the end of the day, the more choices, like I always say, the more choices we got, the better we got. You know what I'm saying? We win. They work, we win. So that's what it's all about, y'all. But y'all take care. Be safe, God bless. And I don't know when I'm gonna do a little stream later on, but I will be back on, later on. And yeah, of course, live. Like I said, I even said it in the live, and when I talked about live, I'm not saying NBA Live 18. Even the devs acknowledging that. They're not saying, they never said at any point, yo, this is about to dethrone 2K out the box or anything. They're not saying anything along that line at all whatsoever, but they're making a legitimately competitive product. So that's the main thing at the end of the day, and that's what matters the most. All right. So I'll at y'all later. And I got my daughter here with me. I'm about to start walking, and we're about to enjoy our day out here. All right. All right, y'all. You all be easy. Take care. God bless. Peace.